Ahoy, crew members. Today we're checking out another Jesse Lee Peterson interview. This time, Jesse Lee Peterson sits down with counsellor Char Curry to talk about the emotional needs of men. Now that sounds like a reasonable topic, but as always, I'll pause along the way to point out any logical fallacies, contradictions, or fuzzy thinking that pop up. Let's get into it.
Men need
for themselves or from women? I can tell you what across the board what they need to.
what do they need to make their lives better, to become stronger, and to be able to deal with the issues of life? What do they need?
They have, first and foremost, no matter what, you always have to look in the mirror. So they need to be across the board. We need to be more self-aware. As far as what I feel like they need from their spouse, and this is me talking to thousands of people and having 2 to 5 million views per week. Like, this is like what they're saying on my page or what they're coming to me with. Patience. They want kindness. They want, like married men and men that are in committed relationships, they're not even getting proper meals cooked. They're not even getting physical intimacy, most of them. And it's sad, but at the end of the day, like I said, patience, physical intimacy. They need someone to, be there to listen to them, make sure that what's important to them is important to their person as well. Because what happens is, I feel like a lot of the time men will have things that are important to them emotionally, and what happens is thrown by the wayside, or they're seen as weak for speaking up. And I don't feel like it should be that way.
Amazing. And so, is it normal for men to be emotional?
I would say yes. I would say yes, because we're all, at the end of the day, I feel like we're all human beings. So I feel like absolutely men have emotions. But I will say this. I feel like society has put it out there that, and you guys know, like, from little boys, you're taught to suck it up, like, get up. If you scrape a knee, it's like, get up. No, don't be crying, and so you guys are taught to basically stuff your emotions down, but yet on the flip side of that, as an adult, you're expected to be a proper citizen, a proper conductive citizen of society. And then also you're expected to be this amazing spouse who's supposed to have amazing communication skills, but yet you've been told to suck it up and that your feelings and your emotions don't matter. So which one is it? We got to have balance.
Amazing. I forgot to put it on here, but I was looking at your website, and you say that some men have never been hugged or nurtured, and it's heartbreaking. Can you explain what that means exactly?
Yes, absolutely. There are so many men, Jesse, that walk around, and I'm talking about they've been not only from did they not get it when they were children, because they were taught to, you know what I mean, like, suck it up, get up, and move on. But also from their spouses. I'm talking about 20, 30, and 40-year marriages where their spouses are not giving them like hugs and nurturing or encouragement and support. Like, literally, they're weathering the storm every single day. They have to provide, they have to protect, but yet their cup is empty.
All right, pause right there. Notice the first tension in the argument. She says men are neglected emotionally and need nurturing, hugs, support, appreciation. Fair point. But then she frames the problem as society telling men to suck it up. Here's the issue. That's a false cause fallacy. The expectation for men to handle pressure isn't just some random cultural cruelty. Historically, it developed because men were expected to protect and provide, especially in dangerous conditions. If the protector collapses emotionally every time stress hits, the whole structure falls apart. So the contradiction is this. She wants men to keep fulfilling the traditional role of provider and protector, while simultaneously rejecting the emotional expectations that came with that role. You can't really separate those two things. If the role changes, the expectations change. But if the role stays the same, the emotional burden probably does too.
But yet they still keep going.
Right.
Y'all strong.
And so what do you tell men to do in that case that need a hug and emotional support? What do you tell them to do?
My first thing is communication. Like if they're in congruency with someone and they feel like they're not getting that out of their person, like what they need, communication, communication, communication. After that, if you feel like you need to bring in a third party and your party's okay with that, then I would do that. But it's so overlooked. It's so overlooked of the fact that you guys also want someone to act like they care about you, and physical touch is important to a lot of men.
And when you say bring in a third person, what do you mean?
I'm talking about like a counselor
Right.
or a
Oh, okay.
pastor. Yeah.
Nice. And so a man should say to his girlfriend or wife that I need you to nurture me. I need emotion. I need this or that. What
Not necessarily. It felt so funny when you say it. Not necessarily in those words per se, but yes, absolutely. And you know what I find also is that a lot of women carry so much trauma to where that's the reason why they're not able to care for that man properly, is because they also have their trauma. So like that, like I say, across the board, it's imperative that we all make sure that, that we're doing our work per se. Make sure you look in the mirror first. Make sure that you're being the best you that you can be.
But women hate men who need nurturing. And
Some women
who
do.
would tell
Some
them
women
that, because women, they have a unnatural need to look up, or natural need to look up to men to bring them out of their hell. And so
right.
if the man let the woman know he's in hell with her, how would he help her and how would she respect him?
I understand that, but I also look at it this way. If we're a team, then I should be able to come to you and you should be able to come to me. If we're a team, then there are certain burdens that we have to share. And one of those is emotional, in my opinion. Because this is the thing, like if you can't go to the closest person to you on this earth, then who can you go to?
So if a husband went to, or boyfriend went to his girlfriend and said to her, I need emotional support right now. I need you to, I don't know how emotional support works, but I need
Mhm.
emotional support. What should the woman do?
Listen, listen, because that's another thing that happens is where a man can come to you and he can be passionate about something, or he'll be so fed up that he's speaking with an elevated voice or a certain tone that you may not like, but at the end of the day you want him to come to you, don't you? Do you want him to go to somebody else? So as much as women want to have a rebuttal when men say what's on their mind, sometimes all they need to do is be quiet and listen. Most of the time, y'all don't even want no answer. You just need to get it out of here. You just need to get it out of you, out of you, so that way, it's not festering inside. But so many times, women just don't listen.
Now we're getting into another interesting logical gap. She argues that many men feel drained because they're not getting physical intimacy, emotional appreciation, or nurturing from their partner. That might be true in some relationships, but notice what happens next. The responsibility quietly shifts away from individual choices and toward trauma explanations. She suggests women may struggle to nurture men because of their own past trauma. Now, trauma is real, nobody denies that, but this reasoning can slip into what philosophers call special pleading. In other words, when men fail emotionally, the explanation is weakness or poor communication. But when women fail emotionally, the explanation becomes trauma, social conditioning, or emotional wounds. If we're going to analyze relationships fairly, the same standard has to apply to both sides. Otherwise, the argument becomes emotionally persuasive, but logically inconsistent.
I remember Oprah used to do her little show on when she was on local TV. She would have all these women come into the auditorium there,
Mhm.
and they would say that men never listen. They always trying to help. They always trying to give me advice. I don't want them to give advice. I need them to listen. So it sounds like you're saying that men want the same thing from women that women want from men.
In some ways, but also I feel like so many times you guys have solutions, but yet the women don't. They don't. They don't respect what you come to them with. You can come to them with a solution, but yet it's like you're not heard.
Amazing. And also, you say that men are not that difficult. What do you mean by that?
Because okay, listen, this and I broke it down. It's like y'all need some quality time, some attentiveness, some physical intimacy, a meal, and some respect. It's not that I don't feel like it's that hard. Did I miss something? Because I feel like for the most part, all across the board, like those are like the top 5 things that men need.
Amazing. And do you work with all races of men or just black men?
All races,
All
all
races.
races. Yep,
That's amazing. Are you surprised that men listen to you?
I'm not.
You're
I'm
not.
not because I'm not because when I say that, like God drops these gems into me, Jesse, it just comes. Like I don't think about nothing. I record. I get the jewels. I get the gems. I get the phone and I record it and I post it. That's how it goes. I don't. There's nothing that's preconceived about it.
I
It's
see.
supernatural the way it comes about.
That's amazing. Um, do women have love to give? I know a lot of men try to get love from women. Do women have love to give?
I feel like it depends on the emotional intelligence of the person because so many times, and even speaking for myself, so many times I thought I was given love, but it was I feel like I was hmm I feel like I was giving love, but I feel like it wasn't unconditional. I feel like there was something underlying, if you will, because of all the trauma that I had experienced. And so I feel like when the more you work on yourself, the more you're able to give love in the proper manner
And what do you mean by
and
proper
from the
manner?
proper place.
What do you mean by
I
that?
feel so. I feel like we can say that we love something or say that we love somebody, but yet where is it coming from? Is it because you feel like you're supposed to give that person love, or is it coming from the fact that you know that you need them in return? I feel like so many times there's, and you know, you've heard this before, but it's like men get, women and children are the only ones that get unconditional love. Men get love based upon what they can give.
Amazing. Um, I've noticed that women don't have love; they only have hate.
You think so?
Yeah, they don't have love to give, and
Why?
that's why when they do get married or dating or get married, they are looking to the man to bring them out of the hell that they live in, because they only have hate, and that emotions are hatred. It's not love; it's hate. It's not love. Why would a man try to get more hate from the woman if that's all she has to offer?
Now we've reached one of the more interesting claims, that her insights about men come from a supernatural source. And this creates a pretty big logical problem, because once an argument appeals to supernatural authority, it becomes unfalsifiable. If the claim is correct, it's because the supernatural source is guiding it. If the claim is wrong, well, maybe we just misunderstood the message. That removes the argument from the realm of evidence and reasoning entirely. And that's tricky in a conversation about relationships and psychology, which normally rely on observation, experience, and research. So the moment you invoke supernatural authority, the discussion shifts from debate to belief.
I disagree. I don't feel like that's all that women have to offer is hate. I feel like depending on the caliber of woman and depending on the emotional level where she's at, I feel like and this is because listen, some people are in arrangements and they're not in marriages, honestly, because it's like it's convenient for them. It's convenient for me to be with you because we've been together for so long and I don't want to have to start over, or I know that you're going to provide. So there can be a convenience there too. But I feel like there are women that can give love. Absolutely.
And where those women that you believe have love, where do they get the love from to give?
That's hmm. Some grew up with it. Some grew up with it. Some grew up getting it.
And where did they
Others
get it
have taught it.
from?
Maybe their grandparents, maybe their parents, maybe internally, and even like for myself, that's something I had to teach myself to have compassion. I had to teach myself have patience, not only for myself, but those around me. So I feel like I give love, Jesse. I don't feel like I just walk around hating people. I love people, Jesse.
And you say some get it from grandparents. Where do other women get the love that they to give? Where do they get their love from?
Something I had to build up with inside myself. I had to come out of self-hatred first though, because I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I sounded. There was so many things about myself that I had grown to hate to where I had self-hatred. So the more and more I started to dig that stuff out and started to love myself, I was able to, love more. That's the reason why I got some tattoos. I got some hearts on me when I was 18. And I got the hearts because I said, I always wanted the love, and so I wanted to be able to give back.
A lot of people agree that men need more emotional support, but as we saw today, the arguments around it can get a little inconsistent when you start digging into the logic. But hey, that's why we're here. If you enjoy breaking down Jesse Lee Peterson interviews and spotting the logical fallacies, hit subscribe and drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, crew members, stay sharp.